very, very short presentation with you about a little bit about the background of the Healthy Minds website, and then I'm going to take you on a walk through the website and the kind of content that's on there and the functionality that we have on the website. So I'm going to share my screen. Just bear with me. Sorry about the slight delay while I find the right window to share. Can you all see that? Do you shout out if you can't? Okay. Right. Okay, so the Healthy Minds website. So the Healthy Minds website is designed to help people of all ages find mental health support across the Bradford district and Craven. So it's the go-to site for mental health support across the district, and it's designed to be that first step to finding mental health support. In the 12 months up to the end of March in 2024, around about 23,000 individuals came onto the site looking for support with their emotional well-being. You might think it's just a website, but there are some unique aspects to this one that we like, and we hope that our public and our audiences find really, really useful. So we'll cover those different points as we go through. So as we've said, it's designed to help people find mental health support. The website basically combines mental health information and advice with a directory of local wellbeing support services. And those services are very, very varied. They are NHS services, they are voluntary sector, community groups, local authority. There's a huge range of services on this website. And this is one of the good things about it. It's a very good example of real true partnership working. So you've got all of those services on there. It's been developed for Bradford District and Craven Health and Care Partnership, and it's funded and delivered by NHS West Yorkshire Integrated Care Board, Bradford Council, and Bradford District and Craven Minds. So again, you have that mix of public sector and voluntary sector organisations working very closely together. Have a look a little bit about the background. The website is very insight driven. So it was launched back in 2019 after research with public, including service users, professionals, and also a large part of the research was on keywords. So we had experts look at the kind of issues that people were searching for help with. And a lot of that was through Google keyword search. So we got a lot of insight from that on the kind of things that people were looking for help with. It was redeveloped in 2023 after some extra working groups with the public and professionals and groups with accessibility needs. And then it was relaunched on World Mental Health Day back in October last year. So the new site is just over a year old now. The content is very insight driven. So we have a directory, and in that directory, we have over 300 services and around about 100 organisations that provide those services at the moment. The reason that we have the individual services on there is to help people find the support they need, because it's so varied and there's so many different services out there. If you put a name of an organisation on a website, you really can't, it's difficult to tell the varied amount of support that they can offer individuals. So that's why we have the services listed on there. And they range from anything from peer support groups to arts and crafts to walking groups. They're very, very varied. And they will basically cover crisis help as well as the ongoing wellbeing and recovery help that people are looking for. There are apps on there as well. So these apps have been they've gone through some verifications from ORCA, which is a national organisation, but also by National Mind. And the reason that apps are listed on there is because we wanted the website to be able to provide that immediate help and guidance that people were looking for, rather than waiting to kind of talk to a health professional. They could get some help and advice there and then in that moment. There are also 24 guides to mental health on there from the National Mind. We also have a general information and advice section. So all the information in our articles is based on information from National Mind and the NHS. So it's a reliable source of information that you can browse through and get some oversights and some more details about certain mental health diagnoses or areas of support that people are looking for. We also have news and videos and blogs on there, which are updated and added on very regularly. We like to put on blogs from more personal point of view. So we have some on there from our Healthy Minds apprentices, for example, from younger people. And also a main part of the website is the search tools that we use. The main one being a support finder, which is it's like a small quiz that will basically ask some questions and help guide you towards a service that might be suitable for you. Because we all know how overwhelming it is when you've got so many services and so many organisations. It's very difficult to know where to start. So we'll look at some of these as we walk you through the website. If you need to get in contact with us, you can email us at hello@healthyminds.services, and you can also follow us across various social media channels, which my colleague Nina will talk about later. Okay, so we'll move on to the website. I will just share my screen and we'll start with the home page. So the URL for it is www.healthyminds.services. Bear with me. There we go. Hope you can all see my screen. We'll start just so this is the home page. So just a few general points about the way it's designed. At the same time as we were redeveloping the website, we also looked at the branding on the website, and our aim was to make it like as welcoming and as easily accessible as we possibly could. So the kind of colours that we're using are the warmer colours. We've tried to make it simple. We've made the language very, very simple and non-clinical. It's very important that people can understand the kind of feelings and emotions and well-being support that they're being offered, and they're not put off by a language that they don't understand. It's also got images on from real services, so they're either of service users or people that provide those services. So we've tried very hard to make it as engaging and as relatable as possible for both the Bradford and Craven areas. There's some main areas on the website which I'll run through shortly. It does meet accessibility guidelines, so you'll see that it's quite clear and hopefully very easy to read. You see at the bottom there's like the news section where you can find blogs. So there's different aspects of this site, and to start with, as our primary audience is the public, we're going to start with a support finder, which is the search tool that people can use to help narrow down the services that might be of help to them. So we'll click on this. This is the support finder. All of this is anonymous. It's been designed to make it as accessible and as easy and not and kind of not scary at all. We don't ask any really personal information in here now, so people aren't so basically so that people are not worried about handing over any information that they think is confidential. So I'm going to take you through for an example. So I'm going to take you through on a journey if I'm trying to find some help for my daughter. So we're going to go. So you can either search for help for yourself or you can search for somebody else. We'll see that this seems, when you know that there's something not quite right and they kind of seem quite low in mood and they're worried, and you might be worried that they might be self-harming. So the language on here is quite simple, and it doesn't really have diagnoses in there. It's basically to encourage people to kind of select how they're feeling. We can go on to some more selections here. We don't think they're looking after themselves very well. And then we've got another set of questions here. This might cover people who have autism or ADHD, for example, or I don't think there's anything there that I think is relevant. So I'm just going to take something else and go into the next section. On this, I'm going to say if it's somebody who's under 18, I don't want gender specific services. I want to have a range for both male and female. So I'm going to say no preference. So the reason this is on is that we found that instead of asking people whether they're male or female, we ask the kind of preference where they want to have that support given to them. So they might prefer a female only service. This is a set of questions which came up very clearly in our workshops that we did with people in the 12 months before it was relaunched. People are very different about how they want to access services. Some people won't go near a phone. Some people don't want to talk to people directly at all, especially in that first instance. Whereas some people really do want that one-to-one, face-to-face contact with people. So we've divided our support into these sections here, where people can choose how they want that support delivered. So I'm going to choose online, by phone or text, and maybe some apps for my daughter because she's not at that stage where she wants to access that one-to-one, face-to-face support. I'm going to select both of these areas here. And then we come up with our results page. So this is where you the individual services in the directory are all listed. So we know that there's lots on there, and as we've gone through that support finder, we found that we've ticked certain filters as we've gone through, which have narrowed down the results that you're looking at here. So you can see, for example, that we've got a mix of online support through Guideline, and you've got some phone lines here. I think Night Owls does text messaging as well. Keith is an online forum. There's a mix of kind of more urgent help and ones that they can access in their own time. And then there's a couple of apps on there too. You can select and deselect these, and it will change your results. So, for example, if you wanted that one-to-one or in-person support, the results change, and that's when you can actually access those face-to-face services if you need that kind of support. You can likewise change it to adults, and you can select which area you're in there. And on here as well, you can select whether you want to have male only, female only as well. So that's the kind of support, the kind of search filters we have on the site, which are helping narrow down those results. They can be sorted in A to Z if you want to. At the moment, they're listed. The ones that are available now are listed higher up in those results, and that's based on feedback that we got from our working groups, is that they wanted to be able to have a list of services they could access there. But if you flick through the results pages, if you go further on, well, you will get other help there as well, but there might not be available really soon. You can also see these results on a map. You can in the map you can put a postcode in, so you can do a search around your area, kind of within a mile range. And if you click on these, you'll get information about what kind of services that there are. So you can click on these. Sorry, I'll just close this one down. I'm trying to find Mind in Bradford on the map. So you can click on these and they will give you the kind of information that's available and listed, and then you can click onto those those cards and get the information. So if I go back into the list view, and we'll go back onto the online phone. On this card, if you click through on these individual services, you'll see information about that service. So this is guideline. You can see it when it's open. It's got videos. Some of these entries have photo images on. It's got the telephone numbers, and it's also got links about how you can access them. So you can go to the guideline, the Bradford and Craven, Bradford District and Craven Mind website here, or you can click on these to get in touch with Guideline or print and share this service page. Just while we're here on, I'll show you where the urgent help is. So if you're looking for the kind of crisis support, if you click that top button on the top right of the page, the services that will give you that immediate help are listed here. So we've got first response and we've got safe spaces. We also have an app there as well. And there are also some guides at the bottom. So if you need that quick link to urgent help, you can press that button there. I'm now going to just take you through to the information and advice section. This is more for people who kind of just want to browse through the information, get some idea on what kind of mental health issues there are or might be experiencing, or maybe looking for someone else. It's broken down into 12 main categories, and these categories are based on the original research that was done with Google keyword search back in 2019. So they cover like anxiety and low mood, but we've also got eating problems on there, for example. We've got addiction, and we've got autism and ADHD on there as well. So if you click through to these, you'll get a mixture of information. So you'll get some articles, a few links that you can get of useful services or apps. But underneath, you've also got services listed in that kind of directory format again, which you can click on to get more information. I can take you through to just an example of the articles that we have on there. As I said, these are all based on National Mind and NHS information, and then most of them are kind of broken down into what they are, symptoms, causes, some treatment, and some tips. We do also have a search button on there, so if you're looking for something specific, you can put a word in here, and it will give you the relevant articles and services. So that's a function that you can also use as well. I'll quickly take you through to individual pages that we have for what we term as like user personas. So we've created some pages specifically for young people, parents, carers, and professionals. If you take the young people, for example, we've got, I don't know, there's around about 10, 12 articles specifically written for younger people to make what they're experiencing maybe easier to understand. And we also have lists of services specifically for younger people on here as well. And that's the same for parents. And we also have an LGBTQ plus one. And that's just to just a simple page to direct people, younger people to get kind of that range of information and support that they might be looking for. I'll take you through to the professionals section now. This is designed to be very quick links to all the information that we've got on the site. So we've got an A to Z of the organisation. So this lists all the organisations that we have listed on the site. And if you click through to that organisation, you can see all of their services are listed individually underneath. And you can click on each of those to get more information again. You also have all the services listed. This takes you straight through to that page we landed on when we came through the support finder and got some results. And then we also have the list of apps. So there's about, I think there's probably around about 20 on there that have all been approved by National Mind. And we also have a support for schools page, specifically listing all the available support that's available to schools or through schools. And that's kind of a mixture from the voluntary sector and Bradford Council and the Bradford District Care NHS Trust as well. So there's lots of useful information on there, and that really is designed to be that quick link through to all the content, more or less for people who know what they're looking for. Right, so I'm going to stop sharing now, and please do throw any questions at me, or if there's anything you think I've missed or want to know more about. So we've got some questions in the chat here. So I'll just kind of go. So the learning disabilities. So the learning disabilities is on, if you go onto the information and advice section, there's a section for people living with disability and physical illness. If you'd like me to share, just see if I can share, find that page for you. That section. So there is some information there, and also we've got links to the local websites that can offer some support as well. And then the urgent care tab. Sam, I don't know whether you want to kind of just explain what you mean by that question. Sorry,
I just noticed on the website you've got hit here if you think you're going to hurt yourself, end your life or hurt yourself, urgent help. What's the process? If somebody hits that, where does it go? What's the protection?
It goes to that urgent help page where we have the like first response listed and safe spaces. It won't take you directly through to first response. And then your question about the easy read version and availability in a variety of languages. So it's basically designed to be accessible and as easy read as we can make it. It hasn't got any of the extra additional functionality on there, but it was designed with to be as high in accessibility standards as it possibly can for everybody. And there is a translate button at the top where you can go on, and that is Google Translate. But again, we've tried to keep the language really, really simple so that Google Translate does work better than it has done in other sites. And the kind of top 5 spoken languages across the district, they're listed at the top of that selection. Any other questions? Would anyone like to bring up anything else at all? Nina, I don't know whether you'd like to talk a bit about social media, because we've obviously, from a lot of our work on the working groups, we know that lots of younger people specifically don't really access help through websites anymore. They kind of get their information through social media, and Nina's been instrumental in setting up kind of new, fresher content for younger people, especially kind of through TikTok. So maybe Nina, you could say a few words on and let people know where they can find that information too.
Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Nina and I'm the Marketing Comms Officer for Healthy Minds. I'll put the links for our social media in at the end, but just a quick outline. So we do have Twitter, which is X now, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok and Instagram. And I guess the main ones for young people that we target is TikTok and Instagram. So to begin with, we started something called the Healthy Minds Explained series, which you can find on our Instagram and TikTok, but it's a co-produced weekly video series that comes out every Wednesday, and it provides informative content. So it will break down key topics. For example, the stress bucket. We've had stuff on LGBT, on Freshers Week, on men's mental health, on sleep hygiene, just anything. And we do that with the Healthy Mind apprentices, people from the City Mental Health team. We've got someone from Mesmat, Invictus Wellbeing and Mind. So that's just like a co-produced series. Again, I'll put the TikTok in, and I'm happy to show some if people want, but they're about 60 seconds to 2 minutes long. And I think we are going to have a page on the website for them, but it's just very relatable, very community driven, very authentic, just quick bite-sized videos for people. And then we're taking this kind of structure and then hopefully making more videos that are on the website, for example, with an upcoming ADHD page and things like that. So it has worked really well in terms of video reels for young people. And then we also have a graphic that comes out every Friday across all our platforms, which I guess is aimed more at all ages and probably professionals. But it's called the Service Spotlight of the week. And every Friday we basically just take one of the services from the website and just give it a little bit of a spotlight, because there are so many things on there. I think it's a fun bite-sized way to kind of engage in that content. So that would just be on our social media platforms, and we'll just give a quick caption and then links for specific service. We've been doing that for the past year every Friday. But yeah, we definitely have seen a massive increase in our engagement through these two. These are not only posts, but these are our two main series. And again, like, because the website is in partnership, that's why we make sure, especially with Health Mind Explained, we're not just making the content ourselves, we are engaging across the partnership with all organisations to make this content. So if anyone does want to get involved in that as well, definitely send us an email. But again, I can take any questions and I'll put the social medias in the chat now.
If there's anything that you would like to be involved with and the professionals amongst you, then we're very keen to hear from you. So we are creating new content all the time. As Nina mentioned, we're doing a new neurodiversity page, and that's based on the fact that that's so frequently visited. In our analytics show that's one of the most popular pages that people go and visit. And people looking for information on ADHD, autism, the kind of assessments, the processes, and our aim is to kind of provide some help and tips and advice in that interim period until they can access further help. So that is being looked at, and we're working with the council to produce new content with people who have lived experience, and also to make them kind of more accessible in the kind of real style videos that we can use on both the website and social media as well. So if anybody wants to be involved further, if anyone's got any ideas or thoughts on how we can improve the website, we always want to hear what you think. We just want to make it as good and as useful and as accessible for people as we possibly can.
Love to hear your thoughts. Even if you haven't got any questions, it's always nice to have a little feedback or just general thoughts you guys have from watching that. If you've heard of it before, if it's something new.
Kelly.
Hi, thank you for that. It's been a really good source of information for me as a professional working in and out of schools. I like how user-friendly it is as well. And also I've got a printed out version, which again is really great on the go when we're in different schools, and kind of, I call it my like little Bible, just to grab out to see if schools are aware of different services within their area. So yeah, it's definitely been a really good tool for me, kind of out on the ground.
Well, that's brilliant to hear. Thank you very much. Yeah, so we'll just try and keep making it better. So, you know, feel free just to email us if you know of any services that should be on there, for example, that would be really helpful to add on. Let us know. All the services on go through like a formal approval process where they get looked at by we have like a very small panel. They'll get looked at by representatives from the NHS and the local authority, so that we know that although we can't guarantee those standards, they do go through a process before they're added on, and then they are asked to directly update their details themselves through a service portal. So that's also, we've designed that to make it as easy as possible so that they can kind of update telephone numbers, service hour times. It's their responsibility to do that. And we ask them to do it every 3 months, but you know, that's quite a big ask. But we try to make it as easy as we can, and we know that the information on there can't always be the most up to date necessarily, but we do encourage people to do that as much as they possibly can. But you know, like if you know anything that is out of date or not running anymore or is new and running and would be really useful, by all means just let us know. I'll put the email in the chat, and then you can get in contact with us if you have any further questions as well. Just get in contact, and it'd be really good to hear from you. So thank you very much for your time. We'll release you early from the webinar. It's been lovely to see you, and thank you very much for your time. Okay, thank you.